So this video is about two things mainly. But really it's about one. It's about when something's been broken for so long, you don't recognize it, so somebody can tell you they can give you common sense, pure common sense. And not only will you not recognize it, you will reject it. The antidote to your poison, and you will spit it out. And I noticed that in a recent video where Ankaket was on the House of Consciousness. And I read the comments before I'd even listened to it. I was curious because sometimes I'll do that and I'll regret doing it. But this time I don't regret doing it because I was surprised by how many people in the comments had a problem with Ankaket saying that if you want something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, that if you want to deify something, a great thing to deify would be the cockroach. Their responses are of the people who have never had a religion that has functioned for them in their lifetime, in their parents' lifetime, in their parents' parents' lifetime. So they are completely ignorant when it comes to religion. When Brother Ankaket, like I said, basic common sense. A lot of their responses show that they have no clue what religion is, and it is because it's never worked for them and hasn't worked from their parents, blah, blah, blah. Okay? They had responses to where, oh, so we're supposed to worship vermin? And that's why I use the definition of religion as same as Neely Fuller. Strong belief backed by action. Not understanding that the deification of something is not the same as worshiping it in religions that function. At least not worshiping it directly. Now you have religions, especially in Africa, especially in ancient Africa, where they are core animus in the sense that everything has a spirit, and that spirit came forth from early matter, whatever, early life, early whatever. That there was never a disconnect from the natural world and a supernatural world. There is no supernatural world. We are made up of all that there is, and all that there is a thing, sometimes called nature. I think the Hindus do it too. It's the thing that's deified. Well, I won't even say deified. It's the thing that allows you to worship certain things that are deified. And that's why I would argue that the traditional African religion, depending on whatever sect, could arguably be the only true monotheism, but I honestly don't care, because I look at things more about how they function for the benefit of Black power. Yeah, technically, that philosophy is true monotheism. It's arguably the only true monotheism. But what is it doing for you? What are the actions behind these beliefs? Because, like I said, deifying is not necessarily worshiping. You look at the things that are deified. I've mentioned that there's a African group. I don't remember who it is. I think it was the people that were in Mali before it was Islamic. And they deified the stomach ache. I've talked about ancient Egypt, how fleshed out it is, how we know so much about it. And the things that they deified were so trivial. And a lot of people were putting this on, this is what the Comedics are about, worshiping cockroaches. The reason why you would want to deify the cockroach now is because you go to a lot of churches. They're in neighborhoods where people have roach infestations. Deifying something is acknowledging that it is a principle in nature, that it is something in nature worth studying so you can utilize it, control it. And I like to say this for the economy hound, so you can industrialize it, so you can Turn it into merchandise. Because if you got a problem with roach infestations, then that means you probably need some people that have studied not just roaches, but similar types of insects that can infest somebody's domicile. You know what I mean? Like that should just be common sense, that you need scientists. And it's not just because of infestations. It's such a hardy species of creature. You might be able to make medicine out of it. If you can isolate the chemicals in their body that have helped them survive for so long, then you could think about it. You get medicine, you churn your economy by producing exterminators. That's what you get from deifying something. And guess what? What will save you faster? A job exterminating roaches? A job where you isolate chemicals in roaches to find medicine, where you study roaches to find out how their brains work. So maybe you can create artificial intelligence. Maybe you can create a spy drone of a roach. It's a little robot and you're spying on your enemies, or Jesus. And that's where I want to bring up Kimberly Daniels. This is a woman who I think she's a Democrat. And I'm going to be quick about this because I got to take my stuff and take my groceries in the house. Kimberly Daniels is known for about a month and a half ago. She was in church testifying about how she's thankful to God, which basically means just the twist of fate, for slavery because it introduced her to Christianity. Else she would be in Africa worshiping trees. And I joked about that. I said, when Africans worship trees, if they really, maybe some did, some didn't. That is independent of deifying the tree. But when Africans worshiped or deified trees, they mastered wood. Now they worship white Jesus and they're mastered by the peckerwood. I had to throw that joke in there. That's a good one. Give me 5 on that. That's a good one. But it's true. It's scary that it's true. You get passionate and spiritual about something, and now all of a sudden you control it. Now you can go to church and say, hey, we got roaches. And oh, that's okay. Our church specializes in roaches. We got 2 exterminator companies. We will take your roaches and we'll take them to another church that studies them for other reasons, because they're, trying to isolate a cure for cancer, whatever. Because how often do you hear about roaches getting cancer? And that, the deification of the cockroach, like the deification of the wood, has action behind it. That is religion. Just saying, I'm thankful I got Jesus. I'm thankful I got whatever God. It could be the God of roaches. That alone is not religion. By my definition, which I get from Neely Fuller, props to him. Because if you're not putting action behind it, I can say my God is anything. And I can love it and speak to it and worship it, and nothing will happen. You could insert another God for my God and you end up with the same thing, because it's all about what do you do. If you deify the cockroach, that means you study it, you understand it. You can then prevent problems with it. You can create solutions with it. You understand, you master the science. You create companies, improve your economy, the deification of the cockroach. And people hear that, and like I said, when it's never worked for you ever, at least in the history of the United States of America, it didn't work. You don't know what working religion looks like. So somebody can come and tell you, and then you had one fool talking about Ankh is a fad. Like the feds want us to deify vermin after what happened to white people with the bubonic plague, which came from vermin. That's the last thing the feds want us to really get into studying, is how to make weapons out of the diseases from vermin. Okay, but like I said, and I look through the comments, when it's never worked, you don't understand it, and when somebody gives it to you, you spit out the antidote. So, ciao.